Happy Monday. So yesterday was Mother's Day. It was my first Mother's Day and it was fabulous. Even though we didn't really do anything, I might actually turn it down because it's really loud. We didn't really do anything, we just sort of sat and chilled. We went for a bit of a WALK with Xena, our dog. You can't see her because she's so like blends in. Say hi. And we just threw the ball for her, and that's what I really wanted to do. I just really wanted to chill, and the other thing I wanted to do was literally lay on the couch and do nothing. So, sorry, this lighting's really bad. So, oh God. Yeah, so that was really good. I hope everyone had a fabulous Mother's Day, especially those who can't see their mums, and I really wanted to see my mum and I really wanted to see Kane's mum, but that just wasn't doable. But anyway, life goes on. Today, I've just had my first coffee from my coffee maker. It is amazing. Thank you to all my friends and family who chipped in for my Mother's Day and 30th birthday present. I love it. It's amazing. It's just the best thing to buy a new mum. So thank you very, very much. I love it. Today I'm planning on going for a run. Oh God. I haven't ran since probably well before I had Freddie. Not for a proper run. I've never actually been a long distance runner. It's not my thing. I'm more of a sprinter. I've played netball for pretty much my entire life. I played hockey for like, I don't know, half a season because I found out I was pregnant with Freddie. And I have decided I'm going to go for a run. I've had a bit of inspiration from a few other people on Instagram, so I thought, nah, I'll go for a run. What else? I'm still in my fabulous dressing gown. So yeah, I'm going to go for a run. I did want to sort of touch on, given it was Mother's Day yesterday, I really want to do a sort of sit down chat about my experience, personal experiences as a new mum and being pregnant for not for the first time, but having a full-term pregnancy. I have been pregnant in the past. Obviously that didn't go as planned, but that's okay. That's a subject I may touch on, maybe. I don't know yet. But anyway, I want to do like just a sit-down chat today, and oh, my arms are so short, I keep chopping the top of my head off. Yeah, I just really want to do a bit of a sit-down chat with everyone today and just go through how I coped as a first-time mum and how I felt and what I dealt with and how I managed all that. So that's something I really want to do today. So I will do that today. I'm going to go for a run. Kane is still asleep, so I still have a little bit of time just to sit here and do nothing. And once he wakes up, I actually have no excuse, so he can sort of sleep for as long as he wants. So yeah, I'm going to make myself another coffee, or maybe I should wait. I'd literally just finish that one and I'll just be pinging the whole day. Freddie's just sitting chilling, watching some... Yes, I put my 4-month-old baby in front of the TV so I can have some me time. I don't really care. It's the only thing that keeps me sane in the morning, to drink my coffee. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. I'll let you know how I go after my run, if I actually did it or if I will even survive, but wish me luck. Hey guys, how are we? I'm just heading out to get oh, my finger's in the way. I'm just heading out to get some groceries for the week. I just went for my run, and to be honest, I absolutely hated it. I'm not a runner, never have been a runner. I'm quite a fast runner, but not a long distance runner. So I really, really, really effing hated that run. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't regret that I did it, but I was, throughout the whole way, I just hated it. And I got about halfway, I actually started to tear up because I was really disappointed in myself that I couldn't keep going. It is quite cold here in Victoria, so that didn't help either. But yeah, I really just did not like that run, and there's a part of me that wants to do it more often to better myself, but then there's another part of me that's just like, oh, give up, Abby, like, you're useless, you can't run, which is really shit. But I'm sort of doing this to let you know that, like, a lot of people message me saying, oh, you have so much motivation,
Where do you get it from? Honestly, I don't know. I'm a very, very, very stubborn person. I hate when people can't tell me that when people tell me that I can't do something, I just go and do it. I have that way with a lot of things in my life. But yeah, it's so normal to feel like this. It is so natural. I got home and I said to Kane, he's like, babe, how did you go? And I was like, excuse my French, but I fucking hated it. Like, I really, really put emphasis on my fuck. I hated it so much. But he's like, do you know what? I get it. You did it. At least you've done it now. I wonder if I can put this here while I'm driving. Oh, I can. But, yeah, I really, really, sorry, this is going to be annoying. I really, didn't enjoy it whatsoever. So that was really shit. Sorry. There we go. So I'm going to attempt to do it again maybe tomorrow. I meant to do power today, but I'm still going to try and do that today. But let's see how that goes. Where am I going? This way, Abby, full. So yeah, just wanted to sort of jump on here and let everyone know that I'm not always the most motivated person. I'm actually far from it. I am a very big procrastinator. I hate just getting off the couch, but I know that if I don't, then I will hate myself even more. So yeah, it's really, really fucking tough. Everyone struggles with motivation. Every single person in the entire world struggles with motivation. So don't feel like that you're not all that, or you're not alone, because you're really not. Every single day I struggle to, get out of bed and be like, oh, I don't want an adult today, but it has to be done. Life goes on. And plus I have a little man or a little human that depends on me for life to go on. So yeah.
Hey guys, how are we? So it's about 20 to 2 on Monday Arvo. I just got back from the supermarket. Freddie's just chilling out, being a cool cat. Acha, acha, acha. Anyway, so I sort of just wanted to jump on here and give you my experience being pregnant, finding out I'm pregnant, giving birth, and being a first-time mum. First and foremost, thank you all so much for your wonderful, wonderful words. I have received so much encouragement and just beautiful words and beautiful people saying that I've done really well and I'm really brave to do this. I still don't feel like I'm brave. I'm still shitting myself every time I get on the camera. I am really, really happy with how the first video turned out. So I wanted to say thank you for all your beautiful and kind words, and just knowing that if I can help someone else and with whatever they're struggling with, that really means a lot to me. But anyway, so thank you again so much. Yeah, so first off, I sort of wanted to start off with, I found out Kane and I weren't actually actively trying for a baby. I came off the pill in January of 2019. We obviously had the discussion before we even got together that, yeah, of course we want kids. So I always wanted to be a mum. So we said to each other, what's the point in even bothering getting into a relationship if neither of us want kids? We then decided, I said to him, look, I'm 29 that year, so last year. I'm not getting any younger. I sort of want to start to try without actually trying. So I came off the pill in January and we just said, look, see what happens, see how long it takes. We just wanted to make sure that we weren't putting our minds sort of I feel like it's a lot of mind over matter. I didn't want it to be all right, I'm ovulating, let's get on it. It was never like that. I never once did that. I couldn't even tell you when I ovulate. Still don't, wouldn't have a clue. in March we went to Bali. It was both our first times in Bali. It was my second time traveling overseas, and we had a really, really fun time then. Freddie was conceived in about mid to late April, and our birthdays are obviously the 6th and 7th of May. I didn't actually find out I was pregnant till about early June, I think. I think it was the 4th of June. I don't know. But I remember peeing on the stick and looking down and being like, oh shit, like wow, this is full on, this is brutal. Not brutal, I shouldn't say brutal, but I was excited, but at the same time I was like, oh my god, this is actually happening. I'm pregnant. Oh my god. And then I remember thinking if I ever found out I was pregnant, I'd do like this really secretive like little way to tell Kane that he's going to be a dad. Well, that just flew right out the window. He was home at the time because he had actually broken his foot, so he was home for 6 weeks in a moon boot. And I remember walking out of the ensuite and holding the stick and being like, oh my god. And he woke up and was like, what's going on? And I'm like, I just held the stick up and his eyes just went up and he was so rapt. Oh, he was so excited. So yeah, that was really exciting. I didn't really want to find out if we were having a girl or a boy. Kane couldn't help himself. He had to know, and he's the worst at keeping secrets. So we had to find out together. I got the phone call from after I had the NIPS test, like the big blood test where they sort of check chromosome stuff and they check other stuff. They ask you if you want to know the sex, and I said, oh yes, I would. And they rang me at work at 4:55 p.m. and I finished work at 5:15. So I just got to the phone just in time, and yeah, they told me I was having a little boy, so that was really exciting. I cried a little bit when they rang me, so that was obviously at 10 weeks. And I actually filmed Kane. I surprised him with what gender we were having. I bought this little blue jumpsuit, and I'll insert the video footage that I took. Our housemate at the time took the video for me. I organised on the sly with him for him to take the video. So I'll insert that footage like here. My friend called it 5:15 tonight. Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
What are we having?
You're shaking.
What are we?
Boy.
We're having a boy.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Got it.
Thank you.
And then, so once we found out we were having a boy, as time progressed on for me, I struggled really bad. So, I have been pregnant previously in a different relationship, not with Kane. And come around the 12-week mark, which is when, unfortunately, I wasn't pregnant anymore, I really struggled being 12 weeks pregnant with him. I was convinced that what was going to happen previously was going to happen again. I'm not going to say what happened. I don't think that's quite fair at this stage. I might make a video of that. I'm not sure. I can't say I won't, but I can't say that I definitely will. But it was really, really hard time in my life at that point. So come around 12 weeks, I really struggled mentally. Not only was I dealing with hormone issues, which is what happens when you become pregnant, I was dealing with things that I couldn't quite explain. I was petrified that I was going to lose another baby, and what happened to me last time was going to happen to me again. I was convinced it would happen because what happened previously was extraordinarily traumatic for me, and probably any woman that would have gone through what I went through would have really struggled. So I was really, really, really sad a lot of the time. And once I sort of got past that stage, it was about, that part got better, but I was still incredibly anxious. I suffer from anxiety on a normal day. So for me, it was really, really hard. I struggled to stop drinking. I wasn't a massive drinker, don't get me wrong, but it was really hard for me to adjust to things that I couldn't do anymore that Kane could do normally. So he could go to his mate's place and get on the piss and have fun, like go to the weddings we went to and that, and still have an amazing time. And I couldn't. I definitely had fun, don't get me wrong, but it was so much harder for me because I didn't know how to, I don't know, I just felt like major FOMO. And I remember we were at a friend of mine, her 30th, and I was about 14 weeks, and I felt disgusting. Like, I felt this big frumpy thing who, why would anyone look at me? You were disgusting. And then Kane obviously was talking. Kane's a massive talker. He's a person that will just go around to some random stranger and just chew their ear off. Me, no, I'm not like that. I'm a bit more introverted and a bit more like, ugh, I don't have that confidence to do that. So, and I remember him chatting to a few of his friends that were girls that I didn't know quite well. And I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, he's gonna cheat on me. He likes them better than me. Look at me, I'm this big fat ogre that's just, like, I had a face full of makeup on. And I felt hideous. I may have looked really nice, but I felt absolutely fucking hideous. And I hated myself. And I hated myself throughout the whole pregnancy. Gaining weight for me, obviously, I gained 20 kilos with Freddie. And for me, that was really difficult. I suffered from body dysmorphia for pretty much my whole life. I've been fortunate. I've never suffered from anorexia or bulimia. But when it comes to sort of looking at myself, I'm actually disgusted by what I see. My subconscious tells me that I am horrible. Like, I just don't look good. So I still struggle with that today. So being pregnant while suffering from that is really hard. And, you know, I didn't look like Beth Judd, that literally looked like she shoved a basketball up their top. Given that I didn't have a very big belly. I didn't get any stretch marks, touch wood, that won't happen with my next one. But yeah, so it was really full on for me. I struggled throughout pregnancy very hard. I didn't love pregnancy. If I'm honestly honest, I hated it. And I'm actually not looking forward to being pregnant again when I do have another baby. So, but that is my experience. Some women breeze through it and that's fantastic, like amazing, good on you. But I cried a lot. I took photos of myself crying. I wanted to be aware. I wanted people to be aware that this is okay to feel like this. I remember thinking, you are horrible for feeling like this. Women would kill you, would kill to be in your position. So why are you feeling like this, Abby? Like, you have no right to feel sad or depressed or anxious. My mum and I were in Kmart and I was explaining to her, you know, I feel miserable. I'm so fucking sad. I'm so sick of everyone telling me that this should be the best time in my life, because it's not. And she's like, you know, Abby, you shouldn't be feeling like this. You should be the happiest time in your life. You should be, and I just lost it. I completely lost it. I walked out and I left my mum in Kmart and I just went home and I felt guilty that I left my mum behind. She had her own car, by the way. I didn't just desert her. But I felt awful. I felt like a horrible woman for feeling the way that I felt. Oh, I know. What are you doing? So that was really hard. I'm just going to put him down. Are you going to lie down and be civil? Or are you going to be grumpy guts? So yeah, that really, that part of me, I felt horrible. So I took photos of myself when I was really upset and I
wanted to upload them onto my social media, and I did it once and I took it down for, oh my goodness. I took it down because I, again, felt like I couldn't feel like that. I felt, you know, like you're going to offend someone or you're going to upset someone. So don't say those sorts of things. And I had 2 friends pregnant pretty much at the same time I was. I was the first to have Freddie, and then my 2 girlfriends followed after me. And I remember talking to one of them in particular, and I said, oh, how are you going? And she's like, yeah, good. And I'm like, how are you really going? And she's like, oh, yeah, it's not what it's cracked up to be. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's horrible. She's like, I know, I hate it, I don't like it, it's really hard, and no one gets it. Like, everyone tells you what to expect when you have a baby, like crying, pooey nappies, all that sorts of stuff, but no one really tells you how you're going to feel when you're actually pregnant. And everyone says you're hormonal, you're grumpy, yeah, you get that, but you feel horrible, and you feel horrible for the most weirdest reasons. And I was like, no, do you know what? This is not normal. Any woman, regardless if you're breezing through pregnancy and loving every single moment of it, which is fantastic. Sorry, I'm squinting. The glare in here is horrible, but the lighting's really good. Or if you're really struggling like I did, and one of my other girlfriends was pregnant, I remember her saying to me, oh, you know, I thought pregnancy was going to be a breeze, but it's not all pearls and roses. It's bloody hard. It's hard on your body, it's hard on your mind, it's hard on everything. So yeah, I personally struggled through pregnancy, and that's fine. It's okay. And if you are struggling through pregnancy, that's fine as well. Bitch and moan as much as you want. There are people out there who are trying to have a baby that are having trouble, and that's horrible. And I feel my heart breaks for them, and I wish I could make it better, but I can't. And there's a lot of other people out there who have lost babies, and it's just heartbreaking, and it makes me want to cry even talking about it. But it will happen, and those sorts of people deserve children. They are the ones who deserve to have a child. And hey, stop chewing your fingers. So yeah, pregnancy wise, I really struggled. Now, giving birth. Whew. So I was never ever afraid of labour pain. I knew it was going to happen. I said for many, many, many years, everyone's like, oh, won't you be scared of having a baby? Like, aren't you scared of the pain? No way. I was scared of going home with a newborn baby and not knowing what the fuck to do. That was my fear. What do I do with a child? What do I do? I'm a very real, honest person. I will probably receive a bit of backlash for it, but I don't really care. People aren't honest enough. I think especially on social media, there's a lot of filters on things, so I don't want to be that person who puts a filter on everything. I know, my goodness. So I think labour for me it was hard, don't get me wrong, my God. So Freddie was a very active baby in my belly. He did somersaults, he did cartwheels, he did everything. So I was tired from him just moving around in my belly, and it took it out of me. So as weeks went on and I started to feel him move, he got more active, and around 34 weeks, he just stopped. Oh, no, not stopped, sorry, slowed right down. So I was like, that's weird. And then one day I woke up with these excruciating pains that I thought were Braxton Hicks. And it just turned out that my muscles were just moving around, my ligaments were moving around. So I rang the midwife, and I'm like, oh, hey, I don't know what's going on. They just told me to ring you in case I felt anything that wasn't strange. Oh, my goodness. So I rang the midwife,
and they said, oh, has he been moving much? And I was like, oh, actually, no, he's been a little bit quiet today. Usually he does somersaults and he moves around. He's just a mover and shaker. And they said, do you know what, come in, we'd like to just monitor you. Like they put like the thingos around your belly and they monitor his heart rate and everything. So they did that. I was on there for like an hour, I think. So I left work in my lunch break and I just got back whenever I got back. And that was the first of 7 times I was about to go in for lack of fetal movement. He just went quieter and quieter and quieter. He was moving so less and less and less. It was like, oh God. So 7 times I ended up going into the MAU, which is Maternity Assessment Unit in Geelong Hospital. And on the 7th time, I didn't leave the hospital. I ended up having him. So that was at 37 weeks. So he was 3 weeks early. The Friday before I had him, I was at a friend's house for a friend's birthday and he was just not moving enough for me to be like, this is really weird. So I rang the MAU again and they said, come on in. And they had I was on the machine for about 5 or 6 hours. And then after they have you on the machine, they have to get a baseline with his movement. So you wear the machine and when you feel him kick or move, you press the button and it like puts it on the graph. So I did that for 5 or 6 hours and then they always do an ultrasound after it. So at about 11 o'clock at night, the doctor comes in to do the ultrasound. 11 o'clock Friday night, the doctor comes in to do the ultrasound and he makes, she at the time, it was a female doctor. She said, oh, is he asleep? I'm like, oh, he must be. Because I had been just lying there for ages. And she said, oh, he's not moving at all. But so she pushed him around, like pushed my belly around. And they said, no, he's not moving. So they said, come back tomorrow morning first thing. Now, it was my best friend's 30th birthday and I was due to go to Daylesford for the weekend with all the girls. And I was really excited because it was like, oh, yes, like my last little sort of me time before the baby comes. And I thought if I go to the hospital, I'll get in time to go to my best friend's birthday. Then I can just drive to Daylesford. Which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours or something from Geelong. So I went into the hospital, sat on I think it's called an ECG. I don't know, probably not, I can't remember. Sat on that for about 20 or half an hour and then they took me into the ultrasound room to do another ultrasound to see if he was moving. Lo and behold, still not moving. And I was like, oh my God. So they said, look, we would like to keep you in overnight. So that was a Saturday night on the 11th of Jan. And I was like, okay. So they admitted me up to the ward. I ended up sleeping there the night. And then they took me for an ultrasound on Sunday to see if he was moving again. So that was about 11 o'clock Sunday, the 12th, sorry. And was not moving at all. They said, okay, this is not normal. So went back up to the ward, had the doctor come from the birth suite, and she said, look, this is what we'd like to do. What's your thoughts? So they wanted to induce me and to bring him on. So I was about to give birth, not about to, but I said, oh my God, like I'm going to give birth in the next day or two. So I went, so I said, okay, I just want to get him out. He had to come out. He was not moving. His movements, his heart rate was awesome, but he just did not move. And I thought, no, something's not right here. So that was a Sunday night on the 12th. They induced me, which wasn't the nicest experience either. That was pretty brutal. I ended up having to get the gas while being induced because the pain was that bad. And they put like a balloon up near your cervix and they fill it with water. So it sort of thins your cervix out. And they put too much water in it. So the pain was just excruciating. And then Kane was lucky enough to stay with me that night in the birth suite. Partners can't stay in the ward. I did give birth at a public hospital. You're very loud. So 7 a.m. Monday morning rolled around and they broke my waters. That's a weird feeling as well. And they put you on is it serotonin? I think it's a serotonin drip, a synthetic serotonin drip, which serotonin, I'm probably getting this all wrong, so correct me if there's any midwives, please. It's serotonin, isn't it? I'm gonna have to find out. I need to Google it. Hey! So it's pretty much a happy hormone, and that when you go naturally into labour, when you go naturally into labour, that hormone is released, and that's what makes your body go into natural labour. So obviously me being not ready, my body's not ready, my brain doesn't release that hormone to sort of get my body like, all right, let's go, let's do it. They put you on a synthetic one, like a drip, and that forces your uterus to contract, and obviously the contraction gets worse, labour gets more intense, and so on and so forth. So it got to about, so they started that at 7:30, I think. Oh no, maybe 9:30. I can't remember. They started it quite early in the morning, and they started that quite early in the morning, and I started having pretty intense. There's kids out my front yard. I started having pretty intense contractions around midday. Now, at 9 o'clock, Kane had gone to the pub because he needed some form of beer. So Kane, oh, darling, do you need to go back to bed? What's the time? So I told Kane to go off to the pub to get something to eat and to get a beer. So he ducked off to the pub. My mum was with me at this stage, so I did have someone, but by then, but about 9 o'clock, the contractions were like little minute period pains. And then Kane went back to the pub and went and had another beer at a pub meal, which was fine. I told him to do that. He'd been at the hospital with me for 3 days. He needed his own little thing. So I told him to go there. And then the contractions really kicked in. Like, I was in pretty severe pain. And then my mum rang Kane and said, look, mate, I think you better come back to the hospital. Everything's getting a bit more intense now, and Abby wants you here. So he came straight back, and it was pretty brutal. So I jumped in the shower at about 2 o'clock. I think we both been over that. So I jumped in the shower, and he hosed me down with some hot water, which was really good. And at about 3:30, I asked for an epidural. I was like, nah, stuff this. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I was like, nah, can't do it. Get me an epidural. And the midwife was really great. She did try and talk me out of it, but I was like, nah. Like, I will rip someone's throat out if I continue on this path. So, the anaesthetist came in about 4-ish, I think. And, he was really, really hot. He was so good looking, and he was so lovely. So yeah, I went into, so we got ready for the epidural, gave me local anaesthetic, and then the epidural didn't take in that particular spot, so he tried a different spot, but there was no local anaesthetic there, and that absolutely killed. I was on the gas whilst getting my epidural. That was the first time I went on the gas that day, was during getting my epidural. Once the epidural kicked in, oh my God. Oh, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm gonna do it all naturally, la, la, la. Fuck that. It was too painful. Nah, I had to do it normally, not normally, but give me all the drugs. Give me the drugs. So yeah, so I had a bit of a nap in between after the epidural, like every 10 minutes here and there. And I had the ECG monitor on the whole time. And every now and again, when you wear these monitors,
the monitor will pick up your heart rate. So an infant's heart rate is normal, is between 110 and 160. Yeah, I think. Between 110 and 160. So sometimes it can pick up your heart rate. So your heart rate obviously is a lot slower. So every now and again it would go and have this massive like whoop whoop siren go off because it's picking up your heart rate because it thinks it's the baby's. That's what. So anything below 110, the alarm will go off on the machine. And that went throughout the day. But about 6 o'clock at night, I was only 2 centimeters dilated after all that. And next thing you know, the machine starts beeping. So usually when the machine beeps throughout the day, I'd move the little toggles around to find Bubs' heart rate again. And it would usually find his heart rate and go back to normal and the alarm would turn off. But it didn't this time. So his heart rate went from 145 or something to 68 beats per minute, which is incredibly scary. Next thing you know, boom, about 50 people come in the room. No, not 50, like 10 people, doctors, midwives, everyone come in the room. And they had to reposition him. So they eventually decided, what? Yeah. They eventually decided to take the ECG off and they put a tiny little thing up into your uterus and it sits on their head. I'm making it sound a lot worse than it is. It's like a little spring sort of, and it just sits in the top of their skin, and that detects only their heart rate. I think you're going to have to go to bed. So that they put that on him to make sure they only got his heart rate, and it eventually come back down to normal. So then the doctor decided that the serotonin drip had to be turned off because he wasn't liking it at all. His heart rate would drop. And I'll tell you why the serotonin was making his heart rate drop later. So we turned off the serotonin drip, and then my camera just cut me off, but whatever. So obviously my body stopped laboring. So when this hormone stops, your body will stop laboring. So I went from having like a contraction every 2-3 minutes to having one every 10-15 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, this on top of being only 2 centimeters dilated. So it got to, it's about 7:30, and I asked the doctor for a cesarean because I was done. I was done trying. I couldn't do it anymore. Oh my goodness, I know. I was done trying anymore. So, and the doctor agreed. So that was really good. We got all prepped. We got everything ready. Waiting in the surgery, in the theatre. And for some reason, the day that Freddie was born, every person on the birth suite needed a cesarean for some reason. What are the odds? Whatever. So I ended up going in about 9:30, 10, and he was born at 10:53 p.m. Monday the 13th of Jan. And here he is, the big lump later. So the reason they had to turn off the drip was because the cord was wrapped around his neck. So when my uterus would contract, the cord would pull on his neck. So obviously his heart rate kept going down because he couldn't breathe and all that sort of stuff. So that was, I think that's all. I may do one another day because I feel like this video is already going for too long, on my breastfeeding. But that's another day. Another story for another day, darling. Isn't it? So you're here and you're healthy, aren't you? So yeah, by all means, my birth was not traumatic for me whatsoever. I was very lucky. That was the only thing that sort of went wrong. But yeah, we're both here, we're both happy, we're both very healthy. So yeah, so I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you all so much for your lovely support, and I just really wanted to, I think I'll
dabble in the, like in my, someone's here, in my mum experience next time. But yeah, thank you all so much. Love you.